Okay, so if you are here, that means you're interested in the game I made for school. I made it during 12th grade. I graduated in June, so I'm not unky yet. I'm not like reminiscent just yet. But so yeah, I went to school for game development where we learned how to code in C# and use Unity to make games, right? For the first 3 years of high school, so freshman, sophomore, and junior, the freshman year, you tested out different classes because there was like game development, there was website design, web design it was called. It was computer repair, right? So it wasn't just game development. So the first year of high school, you had to test out each one. Then after that, after the end of the first year, that's when you choose which one you want to be in. Then the second and third year, at least for game development, you're honing your skills, and your senior year is basically they kind of like push you into the water. It's called a capstone basically. You have to use everything you learned to make your own game, and either you could have worked in a group or went solo. I went solo, not because I didn't have no friends or because I didn't have no one to be with. It's the fact that I know how I work. I slack off a lot. I'm inconsistent, so I didn't want to hold my team back or have people rely on me, and I don't want to have to rely on nobody, you know. So yeah. So right now on screen, you might be wondering, is this how your game thing look? No, it's not. This is just the Canva pitch. So we're gonna go over the pitch and then we're gonna go over the gameplay. We're not go over it, but we're gonna play the game, right? So, Entrant. There will be definition on screen right now because I forgot what it meant, but it's basically a Resident Evil 4 copy. Like that's where the inspiration came from, heavily Resident Evil 4, which I think you can see that. I think you could like get that idea when you play the game. But let's go, and also let's go. Then more yap, but I'm not gonna read it word for word. So if you do want to see like what each one specifically says, then go ahead. I'm just gonna like skim it. Then I'm gonna say what I think is important. So the one that enters. Entrant is a first-person 3D zombie level-based shooter. The objective is to kill the zombies in the area, then move on to the next. And as you play, the story will be revealed. Hoping that's too. Damn, I'm stuttering. Hope it's not too fast. Next is overview. So basically, you play as Agent Ato Carter, a 22-year-old under the Sacrificial Perseverance Kinsfolk Community. I don't know why I said community agency, or known as the SPK agency. Fun fact: the SPK came first. I got it from something else, right? The Sacrificial Perseverance, like the actual like each individual letter came afterwards. I had the SPK abbreviation, but not the actual name of it. But basically, you've been given the honor to take on a challenge called Caged Bird. You don't know much about it. You might not return from the mission, but you're fine with taking that risk. Mission: the goal of the game is to make it through 4. I'm pretty sure there's 4. It might be 5, but 4 zombie infested levels to reveal the story. As you play, you defeat all the zombies, and then there'll be like a special thing for you to click on and interact with. There's also 3 bosses to fight, which they're not hard, but they're not too easy to where it's like light work, no reaction. Unless you're actually like an avid. If you could be like a casual gamer, and you can easily speedrun this. So like unless you don't play games at all, this is light work. Enemy/bosses. Basically, the zombies will be your basic zombies. Honestly, they all look the same, but ideally they're supposed to be faster in some levels, stronger in some levels, both in some levels. But I don't think I actually implemented that yet. And then bosses will be the unique ones. Like some bosses are fast but weak. Some are strong but not that fast. And one boss at the end has different phases that will make them fast, stronger. So kind of cool. Levels. So basically, I'm not going to read too much of this, but there are multiple levels. You have the beginning one, which is like a little manor, which is like the tutorial type level. Then you have the village. Then you have the asylum, which is like a hospital basically. Then you have, I forgot what I called the last one. It's called like Tikabal. I forgot how to pronounce it, but basically the final level. And then there's other scenes, but those aren't levels. So if you want to read all this and get like an actual like know what each level is and all that, then read it. So menu, controls, and sounds. I wanted to keep it kind of simple, but also make it like cool. The controls are nothing too complicated. Once again, if you're a casual gamer, you will see this and be like, that's light work. What? It's nothing great. But if you're not a gamer, yes, it might be a little complicated. During school, we had some non-gamers play, and I ain't gonna lie, they had me thinking like, is my game that hard? Like, damn. Like, I mean, I know I played it and I'm a big gamer, but it's like, is it really that hard? Next is a selling point. I made my game for folks who like are interested in zombie games, mysteries, investigations, and people who want like a nice calm game. And then I was saying, if I ever released it on Steam, which I wouldn't, I'm sorry, but I think it's like $100 to put your game on Steam. Yeah, hell no. Like, unless my channel blows up and people want to play this, I am not putting this on Steam. I don't even got $100 to pay. But, so yeah. Basically, if this did blow up, I would maybe make like a $5 to $10 DLC, which would be his future, or Leonis's, you'll find out about him later, but his side story, and have like a special ending. So that's pretty much it, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, so now we're gonna go over to the actual gameplay. Okay, and this is the game. This is the title screen. On screen right now, you will see the logo for it, because I think it's a nice chill logo. But let's start, like, deciphering the game while also playing it. So you have the intro. So you got like your calm little intro. You got the start, controls, story info, level select, and quit. You got bugs. Little update log tells you what was added. So this is all the most recent things that were added. If you look right there, you can see there's actually a custom cruiser. I forgot where I got it from, sadly, so I can't put how long, but nice little cute thing. Now we're gonna go over the buttons. So first we're gonna go with bugs because it's the easiest. So you have, tells you what's up with the game. Once again, not once again. I don't know why I always say once again, and I would never state this ever. So it's like, once again, bro, you never said that before. But so you have aiming is a bit stuttery when doing slow movement. I couldn't fix that up. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really on me since I use a FPT, aka first person template. So as far as like movement, like some movement, like walking, jumping, sprinting, looking around, Unity did that itself. It's the template that I use from Unity. So as far as aiming goes, I couldn't really fix that because their code for aiming was not as simple as I thought it would be. But yeah, so we got controls. So you have your move, your jump, your shooting, looking around, sprinting, objective, crouch, reloading, pausing your game, interacting, your flashlight, and your garden button. And then, just in case people are interested, you have the user interface, which shows you how it works. So you got the boss health bars, objective, your ammo right here, the block bar, the blue part, health bar, the green part. Nice little thing. Then you go back, you have your story info, which tells you a little bit about the story. It's similar to the pitch. It's very vague, doesn't tell you much because you're supposed to find out more as you play. But by far the coolest part, in my opinion, I gotta go with this, characters. So yes, this is AI. These are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are actually from Unity. Like, those are the actual character models. This was AI. It's a first person game, so you never actually see how your character looks. So I was like, hey, if it's gonna be me, I want to be like a cool looking character, I had to, get a little swag type shit, But yeah, so best part, you might be like, okay, you got character screens. That's not the coolest part. Well, it's cool, but the cooler part is they have one-liners. Except for one, and this one, he, aka my main character, has one, but the audio is kind of low. But let's show you guys how it sounds.
They say AI stands for artificial intelligence. However, I believe it stands for amazing individual.
Like, that's calm. Once again, doesn't have one. I didn't get to record his voice lines down. I ran out of time during school, so never got that one down. This one is my voice, but it's really low compared to the beat, so you might not hear it, but I'm gonna still play it. I kind of regret not becoming a janitor now. I think I can mop pretty well. Alright, little cool. Fun fact, his line was since it's based on Resident Evil 4, it was actually gonna be like a Leon inspired line. I think it was like, maybe I should have joined them at bingo, because if you play Resident Evil 4, Leon says, where did everyone go? Bingo.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
It's gonna be like a nice little Easter egg type thing, but couldn't get the line down.
Oh yeah, I love the spotlight. Should I start singing?
You have this one, which is also really low, but it's there.
If anything, this.
Like, I barely heard it, so if you guys heard it, I'll be surprised. But I also want to real quick mention that besides 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3 are like us. That's me, my boy Talib. You saw him in other videos, and then you have one of my teachers. This was supposed to be a teacher too, but didn't finish it. So we're not professional voice actors. We are complete noobs. So it wasn't. It might sound cringy a lot or like bad. And like, I was recording on my microphone I'm using right now, so it's not bad quality, but I'm trying to do it in school with other noises and all that without like a professional soundproof and all that. Had to do what I had to do, And last but not least,
may he be with his solace. Soon nothing else will be.
So calm little lines. After that, you have level select. This is basically for playing purposes, because while playing, you might die, or let's say I'm showing off the game, right? If I already showed you guys the manner, why would I have to play through all of it again? So I specifically added these level selects just so you can kind of skip through it in case something goes wrong, right? So you got the first level, second, third, and fourth. These two are cutscenes, and then you got the credits, but we're not going to go to that right now because there's no need to. Now we're going to actually get into the game, so I'm not going to talk that much. I'm going to talk, but I'm going to like be quiet every now and then for the voice lines.
Dimitri, I'll assume you're here about Cage Bird. So what do you have for me?
So where do I begin?
There's a clipboard somewhere here. If I had to guess, it would be in that castle. Although maybe bringing a shovel would have fared better.
Dang, bro. It's not looking good for me, bro. I'm not supposed to be this low health this fast. Hold on, give me a second, because I am not supposed to be this low health that fast. Well, you guys get to see the blocking bar in action. You get to see like the regenerate thing in action, so that's that. I hope I'm not too far from my mic, because I already recorded the gameplay, but I was too close and it was too loud. There's a future video coming where I like recorded and the mic was too loud, but I couldn't really re-record it because it would kind of ruin the whole experience unless I just lied. But yeah, so this is the beginning level. You know, it's not, once again, it's not too complicated. It's the beginning. If you press Z, your clipboard, X is your flashlight. It's not that centered. I mean, it works out good though, but the flashlight really shines on a future point. And mechanics. Alright, so after you kill all those zombies, as you might have seen, we have the gun effect. Even with a little muzzle flash. If you were looking, when I shot the zombies, it was like a little blood splatter. A bad looking blood splatter, but it's there nonetheless. I unfortunately did not add zombie groanings. I was like, but I'm not sure if they played actually. I don't remember hearing them, but when you get hurt, it's like 3 different hurt sound effects, so they should be there. But yeah, so you come into here, clipboard. We have one of those, like, I forgot, what do they call these? Like, you see how it says press E? I forgot what they call them, but we have like those little indicator type thingies. So,
I'd advise you to take a few steps back unless you wish to fail humanity.
yeah, it's not like I don't want to die in general, but you know, for humanity, am I right? So yeah, we have subtitles on some parts, not all the parts though, so once again, like I said earlier, I ran out of time. Between me being solo and having to do everything myself and then me slacking, it ran out. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like for someone who slacked a lot, I got a lot done and I did really good. But this is the official clipboard. We're gonna interact with it and then it's gonna do a little more. So this is the first piece of evidence that kind of like, you know, reveals the story to you. This is basically the subject notes. It tells you the subject's name, their date of birth, their gender, address. The address is actually kind of like a indication of where you're gonna go next. Then, you know, some basic notes, some basic test details. You know, if you want to read it, I mean, you probably could have read it by now, but you know, we going so right. But you get here, you got to quit or continue. I'd advise you not to quit. If I'm correct, if you go from the level select, you don't get to see the cutscene. So there's some drawbacks to just skip it through levels. Alright, Freya, what you got?
Well, according to my database, Vantage is a small village on the outskirts of Sviataya. The town stayed under the radar for the entirety of its existence. But I guess we can add a new entry to the history books. By the way, it would help if you took some pictures while you're there. I started a scrapbook for our explorations.
A scrapbook, huh? That's unique, I guess.
So this is Vantage, huh? Pretty underwhelming if you ask me. But find Adric's house, and while you're at it, you should check out the rent.
You know, that's actually a pretty good idea, but there's just something about the Bronx rats that are just so charming. That was actually my favorite, my second favorite line. I have another one down the road. You're gonna see it. I think that one has more charm to it. Like, this one is definitely funny and cheeky, especially if you live in New York, and especially if you live in the Bronx. But the future one, I feel like it's a little funnier. So basically, this is like a little village. Once again, Right now, the third level is my favorite one. The third one in the cutscenes. I feel like the third one in the cutscenes have like the best looking aspects behind, like, you know, atmosphere and all that. I feel like they look the best. But, you know, once again, for someone who we really like, when we learned, we kind of went more into coding and like not like we did design, but not like how to make a whole functioning level. It was more of, hey, hey, I'm gonna give you this game. There's issues, fix it. We didn't have to actually make our own game into right now. So as far as like making whole levels and all that, that was basically, hey, use your creativity. So after you defeat all the zombies, you go here, in which this is like her little shack. Once again, I did not know how to really make this level, so I kind of like, ideally I wanted to do like you know, Resident Evil 4, the first village you go to. I wanted to do like that, but it didn't work out, as we see. So this.
I wasn't expecting any visitors.
You know, after knock knock, they typically say who's there.
Okay. Who was there?
You know, I don't think so.
Wakey, wakey. Carter, stop slacking. Well, you surely won't get the early bird award.
Haha, that's a good one. Freya, where am I?
Based on my scans, you are in some abandoned asylum. However, there's an exit very close. So chop chop, if you want that worm.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. So, typically, I would have started moving. I staying still because this is why I mentioned the flashlight earlier. This level is where the flashlight actually really shines. As you see, without it, it's dark as hell. So, the flashlight helps out a lot. Of course, when it's dark, it is creepy. But once again, I added a flashlight, and honestly, this is the only level where it's actually needed. Like, honestly, even then, it's kind of not needed to get back there. But once again, this is my favorite level. I feel like I really excelled in the creepiness, you know, asylum, you know, there's blood on the walls, a body sticking out, blood splatter, you know, beds, wheelchairs, like little carts, electrical things, you know, open doors with a bunch of beds, you got wiring up there, a broken door with a random painting. I don't know why I put this there, I just didn't want to make it an empty room. Oh, you see, over here you got a door on the floor, a room full of bodies with blood splatters. I wanted to make a jump scare in here, but I couldn't make it work. Over here, this is where you would escape at, but it's closed right now. Little cafeteria area, a random creepy doll. But as far as progressing in the game, you would go down here, and this little thing was once a security guard. What the hell happened to bro? I couldn't tell you. I didn't think that far into the game, but you would come down here, right? And that's bright as hell, but this little key card, you interact with it. Robert Thompson. Poor guy.
You should worry about it. Seems
So you would hear that, you know, then you would turn around, and boom, ideally you shoot.
like your look.
So basically, it's like a little like pop in, like, you know, you're too slow to hit her, and if you heard it, she says, seems like you're too slow. Kind of like taunting you, like, hey, you're shooting at her, but she's just, you know, dodging them, right? Little calm little thing. If there wasn't a time, like, if there wasn't like a time limit on how long the game, like, well, there's no time limit on how long the game has to be, but, you know, I had like basically the whole 12th grade year. So it was like, you know, so it wasn't really like, you know, oh, I could make like a really long game and like really long levels and really in-depth things. But after that, this opens up. This is where the zombies came from. Some of them go through the walls because like they kind of like the way they track you is kind of glitchy, but they kind of track you through the walls, and then so they came through the wall, whatever. But then you come here and interact with this door for next.
This tunnel will lead us to an open field. Are you prepared?
Can I do a rain check?
A little water never hurt anyone.
That's funny for you to say.
Ha 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 ha, get going.
Yeah, let's go.
Our famous hero, Otto Carter. It's so nice to see you with my own eyes finally.
Unfortunately, I can't say the same. If we were face to face, it'd be way better, don't you think?
I'm afraid we don't share that.
Sir, 15 minutes.
Much appreciated, Badger. Give me a raise.
50 minutes, huh? That should be the time to teach you how to tango.
See, I'm afraid I'm more of a vigilant. Take my place if you will be so kind.
Oh, what's the matter, you chicken?
I volunteer.
So I'm gonna run around for a bit so I can yap. But as you can see, this one, the audio lines were kind of low. Because once again, the recording, sessions and like the volume and all that. I just couldn't get it to work where I wanted to. And plus the rain, see the voice lines, like when I recorded them, I put the rain in the background, but I forgot all about the game's rain effects themselves. So it's louder, so it kind of messes with the voice lines. So it sucks, but you get the idea of the cutscene and how it works. So now this is phase 1 for her. So you take her out. Let me just, skip that real quick. She's not that hard. You get it to half health, then a scene triggers. So
This is pretty interesting.
seems like I'm a pretty good Tango instructor. What did you say, Patrick? Okay, so if you're confused, like what the hell, basically, if I was a little better, that little scene right there was supposed to be like she's half health, and she pulls out the special attack. Like the whole smoke didn't work the way I wanted to. Basically, it would be like if she, kind of like surprised you and hit you with like a devastating attack, which sends you back into like a near-death flashback. So ideally, this would have been like back in the day, you training with your teacher Leonis, who once again doesn't have his voice line. So you heard the instant transmission sound effect. That would have actually been like that was supposed to be like actual voice lines, but we didn't have it. So ideally, after he speaks, you would come here and basically you shoot these 3 targets and you're sent back. So let's, do that. Damn. What is this?
Leonis's final stand. He foresaw this happening.
So Gramps had no faith in me. That's good to know.
You have 20 minutes. Make it count.
Leonis was always such a clever, yet quite troublesome foe.
They say it takes 2 to tango. I couldn't leave you hanging.
Flattering.
Okay. Now, you might be thinking, where the hell did I get a shotgun from? Well, see, the fight with the pistol was too hard, and I didn't want to make the pistol OP, so I added a shotgun. And like, if I had more time to make it make sense, right? Like when I added the shotgun, it was kind of like close to the end of the deadline, so it was like I gotta make the game beatable. So I added the shotgun to do way more damage. But ideally, if I was able to connect it better, I would have made it so you found the shotgun next to the dead body, like the Robert Thompson guy back at the asylum. I would have made it so you got it off of him, which would have had it better. But yeah, so now I'm not sure if you can tell, but she's actually a bit faster, and so are you. Because I'm not sure if you guys were, well, if you paid attention, you could go back. But basically, Freya, your AI assistant, like injected you with a serum. I know it's all over the place, but it's a serum that makes you stronger and faster, which is why I'm a little faster. But she's also a little faster, Now this one I kind of hate because it's kind of glitched out. You have to like aim lower. Like her hitbox for some reason, why is at her toes? So you have to like aim lower. And yes, you could go back to your pistol if you were wondering. You just press 1 and 2 for swapping your guns. Alright, I can finish her off with the shotgun, definitely.
Bravo! Rob. What an amazing Tango tutorial.
Don't glaze me now. I know I'm better than you two, but now it's your turn.
It's a shame. You and Leonis share the same destiny.
And now you're fighting the main boss. If I'm correct, it was Igna Mishka, if I pronounced it correct. It's Russian if you couldn't tell, but where the hell is it? So, he is the one that's actually a threat. He doesn't get hurt damaged as easily, does way more damage, and he has way more health. But the cool part about him is, and more range too, god damn. Oh, I gotta switch. Oh. He also has phases.
Leave it to Leonis to meddle while in the afterlife.
What's the matter? Can't you keep up?
Nah, I just need a little stretch.
So yeah, each time you hear those voice lines, that's indication that he is changing phases. He's what? Oh no. We hit the floor already, bro. Oh my god, bro. He wouldn't hit the floor, bro. I'll be back when I get back to that same spot, bro. Now let's hope I do not get clapped this time. I have my fingers in better placement, so I can't let go of the shift like I would before when trying to turn. We're gonna try to speed run it because I mean I don't want to die again.
Leave it to Leonis to meddle while in the afterlife.
What's the matter? Can't you keep up?
Nah, I just need a little stretch.
So ideally, during those cutscenes, well, like little voice lines, he was supposed to be like invisible. I mean, not invisible, invincible. But I couldn't implement it, so you can still damage him. Which I'm gonna utilize that so I can get further in the game.
You know, who would have thought that serum would hold up so well?
Only if you can relate. Sorry to say, yours is inferior.
Well, we'll just have to see.
Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. This is like the one fight that's actually kind of challenging. Cause like the little,
What's the matter?
The slightest mess up, you're cooked.
Cat got your tongue?
Funny. But I'm more of a dog person myself.
Was Adric your dog?
I wouldn't call her that.
If this was Chess, she'd be called a sacrificial pawn.
I believe that's a small price to pay. I'll just grab her brew card, you know?
I spoke to fate, and seems like you're getting killed off right now.
You know, you shouldn't speak for fate. It never ends well.
Okay. Now you might be thinking like, hold on, is this health full? Yes, it is, but as you can see by that one shot, this is like his fine. Like his health is back to full, but he is at like 100 health, I think. Yeah, 100 health. 2 more shots, he's cooked. Oh, I thought I missed it, but it glitches sometimes.
Well, ain't that a...
And here I thought, you were supposed to be a challenge. Disappointing.
Didn't you struggle, though?
Shut up, Freya.
Hey, Idris. Don't need to play my funeral anymore.
Well, now we'll just set it back to a later date. I got a great deal on a casket.
Real funny guy. You cracked me up. I'm sending you my location.
Remember, I got that great deal, so if you happen to want to pass away, be my guest.
You know, I'll do a rent check for you.
I'll take it.
And that's the recap, Miss Briar. Yet, I fear there's more.
What makes you say this?
Well, not to be rude, this is Inga we're talking about.
Which means...
With all due respect, miss, you can't be this dense. No way the smartest dude in the world wouldn't have some type of fail-safe plan.
Don't overstep your boundaries. Although I suppose you strike a fair point.
My apologies, but defeating him doesn't seem like it'll be the solution at all.
Knowing Inga, there's something bigger than him planned.
That's what I'm saying. There is no way this is the end.
I suppose you're...
Miss, Ato is gone!
What do you mean? Gone?
He's nowhere to be found. At his residence, we found a letter.
Well, do you have this letter?
Well, no. Forensic took it to check for prints, but it said, having a backup plan is like admitting defeat. However, I never lose.
Didn't he technically lose?
This is interesting.
I don't think Leonis could have seen this coming. I mean, a failsafe that is unpredictable. This is marvelous. I would love to see you get out of this, Mr. Carter.
Okay, so I'm gonna blur out some of the credits because I ain't trying to dox people name, right, in my own name. Like, you guys know it's Fred or Frederick, but that's not really enough to get anywhere. But I mean, with internet is weird. But all right, so now I'm gonna go over a few things. So, the first cutscene, the plane, that is supposed to be Idris's, aka the rescue helicopter's, like point of view where he's coming towards you. Nice little cute little cutscene. Then after that, it takes you back to the office where the whole gameplay, like the gameplay wasn't like the first experience. The gameplay itself was it was like a recap. So you were basically playing a recap of what happened, which I thought was really cool. And then the guy bursts in and lets you know that you, aka the main character, have been kidnapped, right? So that kind of like leads into like if I ever made a part 2. It's like a cliffhanger, right? And then at the last scene where the guy's on top of the shelf, that's back to the main character if it wasn't noticeable. You're on the floor looking up, like if you're tied up, and he's like speaking to you. And as you saw on screen, Entrant, the Fool's Failsafe is basically the title of the second game, which I will not be making. However, if this was to blow up, or like if people were like that interested in me actually making a second one that would be way longer, higher quality, let me know. I would definitely be interested in working on it. Now by myself, hell no, I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't like coding. So like, you know, level design, hey, I'll help out. Make like the main menu, all that shit, I'll do that. But coding everything else, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that. If I have to, I will, but I'm not that interested in it. So if anyone would be interested in working in it with me, let me know. Cause if I have like a little group, I'll be down to do it. Unfortunately, you will not be getting paid unless once again we get that much support. But besides that, you will not be getting paid. So if you do want to work with it, take that with a grain of salt. That you will not be getting money for it. If you want to work on it, let me know. I'll make like a list of what we would actually need. But that's that. Overall, I feel like the game is really good. Keep in mind, I was a high school student with experience, but a lot of the things I had to do for my game was literally by myself. I had to learn so many things, YouTube videos, forums, and all that. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, I knew how to do all this and I just did it. No, it took me a while to learn a lot of this. Not to mention, again, working alone. I don't like pulling out the working alone card because it was optional, but working alone made this 10 times harder because I had to do everything myself, right? But I did it, I prevailed, and although it's not completely polished, right, I think I did it really good. I think it's like 8 months. Let me see, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, it's like 9 months not even 9 full months either, because I didn't work on this every day, right? So you can at least cut off like 3 months, but I think I did pretty good. Leave your review in the comments how you feel like the game went. Like, subscribe, comment, helps out a lot. And once again, if you want to see me, right, if you want to see me like make a part 2 to this game, let me know. Maybe I could throw it on itch.io, right, if it's free. I'm not sure if it's free, but if it's free, I might like work on it a little more, polish it up, and throw it on itch.io. But once again,
Can you hear this?
thank you for watching my video. See you guys next time. Where's my cruiser at? Okay.